Hi and welcome to another video from me, Christopher at DBG. So we recently just built the strong line from TT Combats. Really enjoyed this. Next up, I didn't know what I was going to build, so I gave you guys, the fans, the subs, the people that like and comment, the choice. So we had the custom workshop, the snack bar, then the bastion, which is quite a beast actually, it looks huge, and out of these was one clear winner. Now if you didn't get a choice or you missed the vote, then it's always shared on our Facebook or Instagram, so if you haven't subscribed or liked, then join those and you'll get used to all these things. I tend to post on Instagram and link it to the Facebook page with pictures and updates quite regularly, so do check them out, it's quite cool. And it's always interesting to know what you guys are thinking, you know, tag us in whatever you need, whatever you want as well, and we can always comment back. But the clear winner was the snack bar. So this is what we're going to open up. Be interested to know what it's actually like and the level of detail on that, because there is quite a lot on here. So let's get open. Let's see the next stage. That'll be my predator that's falling over. So I was on James's on Friday night, and I wanted to test myself with a little bit of cheating magnetisation, and I've managed to magnetise the whole of my predator, so I can interlock the turrets and change the sponsons as well. So if I had an army blood angels, then I'd also magnetise all of that, and I'd actually possibly use them in that as well. So because I don't really want to do a standard colour scheme for this army, so I might do it like that. But let's get on with this first. So this is difficulty rating of 3. The snack bar looks really funky. And you've got 26 steps, and in theory that's what it'll look like when it's finished. Difficult rating of 3. So like with a lot of the TT Combat, it's alright. It's because I've been building loads of Sandstorm stuff. The Tabletop Scenics stuff, everything's numbered and everything's lettered. So we seem to have an A. Oh no, we do. So they're double labelled on this one. So we have A and B. Now the numbers and the letters don't represent the order they go in, they just represent where the piece is. So on instructions 2, for example, you must use F5 and C2. So you'd find those bits according to the sprue and the number, and that's what the parts you'd use. So it's actually quite simple to follow, but actually trying to find it seems to be the hardest part, because there are so many parts in this. They make every single millimetre of the MDF count, so they're not printing unnecessarily bits of MDF, and there's a lot of not wastage basically, which I quite like. Then we have C and D. E and F looks like it's the outer layer, all the extra details. So you can see there's some skulls, there's even some gravings into the actual sign, or would be a sign, so that looks quite cool. The fact is, you already see the order of this goes in just by the design of that, and that's what it'll look like when it's going round. I imagine the curve of the snack bar. And one thing from the pictures, I didn't know if they were going to actually include it, was the fact is the sign of the burgers. You can see there, it's actually got the 2 orc looking like it's fast food restaurant in a sense, and you've got loads of other cool designs on there as well. So yeah, that'd be really cool. The fact that they've added that in, and I thought it might have just been painted in by some designer. So the fact that they've actually got that in engraved, I really like that. That's a really nice touch. So first thing with any MDF, clean it up with some hot water and some sponge. Oh, and last one. Which tends to be the heavier MDF. The thinner ones, it tends to be something that's used to stabilise it. So before we get onto the build, I want to show you the Predator. So I'm pretty good at building rhinos, or the rhino cases anyway, because I ordered 300 of them at Games Workshop when I worked there, and it was all done by weight. It cost me about 46p per rhino, and I think with the extra Razorback stuff, and I wanted the extra details, so more it cost me like £1.20 or something like that. So I ordered 300. I don't know why. I think it was just my max limit, and I did. So we did a competition in the store that was I gave to the vets and the customers and the youth. You know, I thought it'd be quite cool. Was to build a rhino in 3 minutes. So you had to get the base done in 3 minutes. So you're not about like the top or you know, all of that sort of stuff, or the smoke launchers. It was just a whole, in a sense, including the tracks. So and without rushing still, I'm not far off that time, so I might do a build speed challenge for you once live. But this is really simple. I won't show you the ins and outs of how I've done it yet, because actually I want to think, you know, is this worth a video? Do you want to know? So, you know, example, that is simply magnetised. Is it something you want to see when it's magnetised like this? Yeah, do you want to see something like this? The fact that it still rotates when it magnets. There's loads of little quick ways and shortcuts and expensive ways to do this. And the one I'm going to do next is I'm going to do a mixture of the shortcuts I've done in this and a mixture of the expensive, not expensive, still a bit cheap, hobbyist, the more elaborate ways of magnetising it. If you're interested in seeing that, then do make a comment and we'll get it done as well. This is all going to go in my Crimson Fist themed army, which is going to have 3 Preds. So they're all going to be autocannon and double las is the idea anyway, so they're all going to be like that. I still don't know yet. The reason why this is empty is I don't know if I'm going to order the Forge World Fists or not, because I think this army is going to be more of a showcase than a tournament army, so I might order that, because I'm hoping, and when Conquest comes out as well, is to buy 3 of those repulsors, you know, the Primus carriers with loads of guns, because then I'd have the 2 spare side hatches that fit perfectly well in that and make it really Crimson Fist. So I'd have 3 of the Predators, 3 of them, and it's a mixture of Crimson Fists being uplifted by Primus Marines, because we know that they took an absolute battering, and they're one of the units they're going to be needing more as well. So that's the idea of that. Rest of this video we're going to be building, me just general chatting like always. Hope you enjoy. I will build it in sections, and in the next part we'll just show how far I've got, and hopefully make you avoid all of the mistakes that I'm going to make. Well, in theory, hopefully it'll go perfectly smoothly like it has for all of the TC Combat stuff. So this is the Orks snack bar from TC Combat. I keep saying that. Sorry, it is the Orks snack bar from Tabletop Scenics. They've given us everything for this October. I love it. I'm even looking at the pictures, just showing. I can't even wait just to do the silly thing like the umbrella and the stalls. You know, it's going to be cool. So let's get it done. So this is how far I've got so far with the snack bar. I'm generally enjoying the build so much I forgot that I'm actually trying to do a video because I've gone quite far. But it's actually relatively simple. So the start was sticking these 2 bases together. I actually left that out because I wanted to see what the rest of the build was going to look like first, because it's shown every single door and wall in a section. So you had 1, 2, 3, 4 parts all by themselves. And I was like, okay, this is interesting. Maybe the instructions are showing it as a box first and then stick on. So I used that as a way to stick the base together because they're nicely slotted in, as you can see underneath. The next bit after that was relatively simple, just putting a square inside that joins up with the 2 ends. It's a nice socket. And then the next part is, I've only just gone up to 4 just to illustrate, is the curvature of the building. You can see in the windows you've got a 3D effect, you can see by the doors you've got a 3D, or the windows as well, you've got like a bar effect underneath. You know, you've got the front part there where it's got some 3D element to it as well. Now, it is a lot smaller than what I thought, but then I didn't know what to expect. I was like, if it, you know, is it going to be as big as the barricade, the barracks, which would be just really, really big for what is a snack bar, or is it going to be something like the Dakar bunker? Now, I love the fact it already comes with a base that's got some detail already in it as well, as you can see. You know, there's little vents, there's little marks and stuff. It's going to look really good whatever field you put it on, because it's going to show the underneath of the mat, the table, the piece of scenery, whatever underneath the actual layering. So it's going to automatically blend into whatever board or mat that you use, which is brilliant. That's what you want, a versatile piece of scenery that can be used on any surface. So my next stage is just going to be continuing going over that, and then it is, because it's quite solid already, you know, because it is so right, I might just keep building this and not even let it an overnight dry, to be honest, depending on how far I get. I mean, the next stage is relatively simple. It's just continuing the curvature of the building. Then it is adding some structures, some 3D elements to it. So one to here, then one to this side as well, and then the 3D structure onto the actual curvature as well. And that's where I might stop actually, just because of the next bits look like it's all going to be interlinked with things, and I want to allow that to dry better. So let's see how I'm looking at it going, how does it even get to that stage? But yeah, I'm going to get to the curvature of the building, the 3D element, and I'm going to leave it to dry overnight. So I'll show you what that looks like. But so far, really impressed. Nice little bit of scenery. If you want size comparison, there's a Predator at the moment. You know, so it's not as big as a Rhino or a tank, but for some people and men hiding behind it, and really, you know, go inside it as well. Be a bit hard to move them, but you can say men are inside it and take them and just put them to the side, because at the end of the day, it is a door in there, depending on how you prefer to play. I prefer to play if a door is there, and it doesn't open, or it's not a doorway, it's enclosed and you can't get through and it's barricaded inside. If you can physically put men inside it, then I sort of allow it. But I don't know, everyone sort of plays their own buildings differently. You've got some tournaments like ICD that tend to do all windows and doors and stuff are unseeable, or you can't see through them, they're line blocking scenery. I quite like the fact if I can see it in through a window, I can shoot it. If I can't, because it just adds another dynamic to the game where I need to maneuver my models better, I need to be more strategic, I need to plan for things and stuff. But that's provided the table actually allows you to do that. If every single bit of scenery on the table was just windows and doors, then you might as well should not have it, because you're always going to be seeing through it. Especially in the current state of the rules, you have to be in cover to get the armour save. Where I'd always say if you're shooting through those windows and doors, actually you're in cover because you're shooting through cover, like it used to be in 7th, but it's just not there in 8th at the moment. I do think it should be, or at least home testing. I quite prefer that way. Right, let's carry on with building and I'll let you know how it all goes. So we've built all the edging. I haven't done the layering of the top yet, just because it's so late here and I want to get some sleep. But you could just continue building at this point. There is no need to wait and dry really. The only thing, if you wanted to really wait and dry, just because of the way you're holding it, is because you're pushing in the doors now and again. So, and because it's got a base, you can't then reposition those doors. So if you're going to do anything, you'd leave it to really dry in those areas first. So the roof's on, and you have a little bar stool part. What I really like is the underneath touch as well. It just slides underneath this base, or this sort of stool. Really nice, slots in, and that just goes on top as well. Other side, very similar, just layering another level on, and a bit of structure here that just pops it out another element as well. Equally, it happens with this side as well. As you can see, the door, it's got a piece here and then a piece at the top here, just to make it pop again. What's really interesting in this window and this window is slightly different. This one indents, this one doesn't. I don't know if that's done on purpose, but there is no way of them both matching. But actually, I quite like the fact that Orks wouldn't have matching buildings and things like that, hence why there is so many different materials, so different angles that's gone into it. Not only all the damage or bullet wounds and stuff like that that have gone into the area. So I'm going to leave that dry only because it's really late, but you could continue building if you wanted to. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're enjoying the video so far. Comment on what parts of the buildings you like, but also comment on the parts you want advice on and stuff like that. Really want to give you as much as possible during these videos. Well, that's everything. Hope you enjoy. Just continue watching, and we're just going to do the next part. So we have finished the snack bar. Now, just looking at it, it was so well detailed. I sort of get carried away with it and forgot I was really filming, because the last part was just putting on these that you saw, and I wanted to do just sort of this snack bar with sort of like a backwards B, which is quite cool, very orky. Group grinder, and there loads of little teeth and stuff you can imagine grinding the food up. So what I might do in there is put some like marine heads and tyrannid bits and stuff like that in there. After doing this, it was just about doing the gates. It's just like a double gate, just to add that 3D element. Last bit was putting on this. It's actually got the design on there as well, sketched in, which is a really nice effect. Let's see, going around here, got little grinders and stuff. These skulls I've just added in as well, just on the door frame, just so people get really feel what it is. We've seen the sides. Last little bit was adding this in, and I've just added some sort of metal, little sheets of metal, just to add the effect. And there is the effect on the back as well. What I really like is you have a barrel of beer, which is quite cool. It's even got orc head, sort of drunken dizzy sign, and fun beer. And it sits there, but actually you could have it as a little bit of scatter scenery, just to the side. Same as all of these sort of stools in the picture. They'll go next to there, which I might end up doing that, or I might just leave them like that and might actually just put them as like on a base or something like that, just add a little bit of elements in. this thing, as much as it looks really simple, actually there's loads of different parts to it. It's still gluing in parts, but actually it's a really nice touch. I think this is one of the most funnest buildings I've built. Really wanted to see it through, and it's just all the little touches in there as well. I must admit, I really like it. I mean, especially like the sign. I think that is impressive. I mean, if you compare it to, you know, you've got the Predator up there for some scaling. When I've done this, I'll compare it to the other 3 buildings and size comparisons, and when I've done all of the rest of the buildings, they'll all be on a board, and we'll see a big size comparison to all of them. Next up, just an overview and closing down. So we have finished the snack bar. Easily the most funnest build I've ever done, from the little touches to the sign, to the grinding part where I could put loads of marines and stuff in there, and mid parts and stuff. You know, Orks would eat anything. To just a little touch like the umbrella, the little bar stools, the drunken Ork on the side of the beer keg. I really enjoyed that, and I wasn't expecting the parts at the back because more here. You know, and they put the sign on the other side, on their build. So I thought, yeah, no, it's quite cool being on that side, but I really wanted some more detail on the front, and I feel that you would go into the bar or walk around, you know, so this would be the entrance and then people sitting out of the back. So that's why I put the sign on this side. It recommends that you put it on the other way, but I really just wanted to sort of overlay all these details and stuff like that. I really like it. That's like, don't have to do it. Makes sense to me. But it is truly impressive. I really enjoyed it. In the fact that I've enjoyed it so much, I've been watching battle reports and a podcast. Joined in quite a lot in the podcast last night of Hellstorm Gaming. If you've not checked him out, check him out. Main guy there has a massive love of Leviathans like myself. Doesn't have 3 of them. He says he wants a 3rd. If he catches this video, throw us a message. See if we can hook up with one of my Leviathans. I've got a spare one. Well, I say spare, no one really has a spare Leviathan, but I've got one that I'm not using at the moment. Mainly because I don't know if taking 3 Leviathans in a 1250 tournament is a bit harsh. I don't know, it's almost 900 odd points, but it's 950 something the way I've kitted them out. So I don't know if I should take that one in the tournament, but definitely check them out. Hellstorm Gaming, those funniest battle reports, and I thought it was really themed, me watching this while building this while watching that, sort of having some really good fun building it and watching them. What's interesting about watching battle reports, now I do love battle reports, if I had to rank them of what I watched, I generally watch a lot, at least if I can, I watch at least one a day, so you can imagine I cycle through quite a lot of different people, but I really like Hellstorm Gaming, Tabletop Scenics, Winters, maybe, and Twisted Dice. They tend to be my go-to. But what's really interesting about all those battle reports is I don't see scenery like this on there. I don't know what it is. I mean, they have the standards, you know, Game Mat EU type scenery and stuff like that. I mean, they just provided the mats, so they provided the scenery as well, and I can understand why they take that. But Tabletop Scenics is something different. This is so well detailed that I think it beats the pre-block resin. And mainly theirs is all painted, and it's a lot easier if you haven't got time and you just want block scenery. And what I would think would be a combination of both types of scenery would be the ideal. You've got your block scenery and the crates and lovely split of scenery from Game Mat. They're all pre-painted in resin, but this stuff adds the extra element on there as well, that individual sort of differences. The fact that, you know, it's Ork, you can theme out a whole planet of Ork scenery. You know, Orks have taken over, they've smashed all the buildings through, they've started building their own barricades, their walls, their mechs, their custom workshops, those sort of things. That's what I really like it. And the fact is, it is October, and Orks are coming, Speed Freak's out this weekend. The pre-orders for the codex, which I'm definitely going to do, from Goblin Gaming. Check out the affiliation link down below if you want to get a copy of yours. I really want to have Orks. I've got Ork Horde army ready to get painted, but I need that codex first to make sure I need to build more than 300 Orks is what I've got at the moment. Hopefully not. I've got them. I've got like 100 Orks just in spruce still from when I worked in Games Workshop. But it'd be interesting to know what I need on that. I don't think I need anything else, or I actually play 2,000 points of Ork Horde. I think I just probably need some more specialisty stuff. But I mean, they got their workshop coming out, which looks really cool. Don't get me wrong, it looks quite nifty. If it's more than £15, which to be honest, it's Games Workshop, it probably will be. It needs to be quite big. If it's up in the £20-25 mark, then it needs to compare with something like this, because that's where this where their price comes from. And this is good. It's big, and it could be my next build actually. I'm not too sure, but it looks chunky. It looks awesome. It's exactly where they'll build their treads, their stompers, all the starter stompers anyway, in there. So that's where we're at with this. Again, a massive thank you to Tabletop Scenics. Check out the links below. Going to be posting loads of photos and stuff on Instagram and on our Facebook page, so check that out as well. Do all the YouTube stuff. Be interested to know what scenery you're working on and what you think of this as well. Thanks again for voting for which one you wanted to see. I hope you really enjoyed it, and I hope I did it justice. So wherever you are in the world, make it a good one, and happy hobbying.